Hello guys, welcome back to LeetCode. So in our SQL series of solving LeetCode questions, I am back with another brand new question, employees whose manager left the company. Okay, so without any delay, let's start with the question. In this question, we have a table employees which has four columns: employee ID, name, manager ID and salary. Okay, here the employee ID is the primary key. Fine. And this table contains the information about the employees, their salary and the IDs of their manager whom they are reporting. Okay, some employees do not have manager, their manager ID is null. Okay, so whenever the manager ID is null, that means that particular employee does not report to anyone. That employee does not have a manager. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to find the IDs of the employee whose salary is strictly less than $30,000, okay, and whose manager left the company. Fine, there are two conditions through which we have to filter the table. The salary of that employee should be strictly less than $30,000 and that particular employee's manager must have left the company. Okay, now what exactly is there? That manager leaves the company, their information is deleted from the employees table, but the reports still have their manager ID set to the manager that left. That means that a manager who left the company must not have their ID in the employee ID column, but their ID will be present in the manager ID column. Okay, we will understand it in more broader way in our example. So the result should be ordered by employee ID. Okay, the result should be in that particular order. Okay, now let's see the example. Here we have our employee ID, name and manager ID and salary columns. In our employees table, the output is 11, that is the employee ID 11 has salary strictly less than $30,000 and the manager of that employee has left the company. Now if you look at the table carefully, there are only two employees, that is employee ID 1 and employee ID 11 having salary strictly less than $30,000. okay, as you can see over here in the salary column, employee ID 1 has manager ID 11. okay, that means that this employee is the manager of employee ID 1. okay, so that means that employee ID 11 is presently working in the company. Fine, but employee ID 11 has manager ID 6, and if you look at the employee ID column, manager ID 6 does not exist. okay, that means that manager ID 6 has left the company, but the reports have still their information. This is what we have to filter out. Okay, the employee who is not present in the employee ID column, that means the data has been deleted, but the data regarding their reports, that whom they were, the employees reporting to that manager's that ID is present in the manager ID column. Null does not mean that the manager has left the company. okay, it means that particular employee is not reporting to anyone. That means that employee has no manager. okay, so we have to check. First thing we have to check is the salary, which is strictly less than $30,000, and second thing which we have to check is the employee ID should be present in the manager ID column, but that employee should not be present in the employee ID column. Okay, so let's start with the query. Here we will select our employee ID column, okay, as shown in the output table. okay, from our employees table, obviously. Now we are going to create some instances because we will be using a subquery to get the managers who left the company. okay, so for that I am creating an instance E over here. Now the condition where our salary, okay, salary should be less than 30,000, and another condition is the manager ID. okay, the manager ID first of all should not be null. okay, and not exist. Okay, that means we will create a subquery over here. Now this subquery will filter out all the managers, okay, who are currently working in the organization. Fine. Now this statement will filter out the managers who are, first of all, not null. Okay, that means they are present in the manager ID column but does not exist in the organization. Okay, so this query is specifically for managers who are working in the organization and they have employees under their reporting them. Okay, so for that we will create a random column for that, name, m.name. Okay, this means this is a instance of the table which does not mean anything, it's just for reference. From our employees table, again I created another instance m, where the employee ID should be equal to manager ID. Okay, this E is reference from our employees E table and this M is another reference from our employees M table. So where employee ID is equal to manager ID, that means that employee is currently working in the organization and has the manager position. Okay, so this is the query for that, and we will filter out the managers who are not working in the organization, and then we will order by employee ID. Okay, done. Okay. So it's quite simple, not any rocket science over here. We just created a where condition where we applied two criteria, that the salary should be less than 30,000 and the manager ID, first of all, it should not be null. Okay, that person should be having a manager position and that manager should not exist in the organization, and for that we applied a subquery which checked whether that employee is working as a manager in that organization or not. That's it. Let's run the query and okay, so our query is correct and we got our expected output. Let's submit it. To practice the same question in your LeetCode and let me know in comment section if it is helping. Share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed SheCodes, do subscribe SheCodes. Like the video. Thank you. Bye bye. Happy coding.